After watching this video, you will know how to use charts in Word. To insert a chart, we go to the Insert tab and click on Chart. On the left of this window, we need to select what kind of design we want for our chart. In the top part of the window, we have even more options for the design. After we chose a design, the chart and a small Excel screen with sample values will appear. We can now edit these values. The vertical headings are the descriptions which are shown beneath each cluster of the chart, and the horizontal headings are the descriptions for the columns inside a cluster. When we are finished with editing the values in the Excel window, we can close it by clicking on the X button in the top right corner. If we later want to edit the values, we need to click on the Edit Data and the Excel window will open again. If we want, we can also temporarily exclude specific data from the chart while keeping it stored in the Excel table. For that, we click on Select Data and simply uncheck the data that we don't want to show in the chart. Let's now look at how we can change the layout of the chart. If we want to completely change the chart type, we can do this by clicking on Change Chart Type and selecting a new one. But to change the layout of the current chart type, we have two options. The first one is to choose from a predefined set of layouts which are accessible when we open the Quick Layout drop-down. We can move the mouse over the layout options to see what they would look like. But if we want more options for changing the layout, then we need to open the Add Chart Element drop-down. This drop-down can also be found when we click on the plus symbol on the right side of the chart. And here we can really change the layout for every object in the chart. We can, for example, choose if we want to show or hide the values of the axes. When we click on the black arrow, we can even decide if we only want to show the values for one axis. Then we can also add titles for each axis and edit them by double-clicking on them. The same of course goes for the chart title, the data labels, and the data table. We can also insert error bars and trend lines which are getting automatically calculated. The next layout option we can change is the width of the bars and the spacing between the sections. For that, we right-click on one bar and select Format Data Series. Then a sidebar menu will appear, and with the two sliders we can adjust the spacing. The slider labeled with Gap Width determines the space between the clusters. The other slider determines the spacing of the bars inside one section. To move any of the elements, we need to click on them and then their border will appear. Now we can simply drag this border to move the element. Note that some elements like the axis values are not movable. Let's now look at changing the design of the chart. The easiest way to change the design is to choose one of the offered chart styles. We can also change the colors of the chart by clicking on Change Colors and selecting one of the color themes. But if we want to customize the design even further, we need to go to the Format tab. If the whole chart is currently selected, then we can change the design of the whole chart at once here. We can, for example, set a black background color and a white text color. By the way, here we can also change the size and the positioning of the whole chart the same way we learned it when we looked at images in Word. Now let's say that we don't want to change the design for the whole chart, but only for the blue bars. Then we select one blue bar and now we can edit all blue bars at once. So we can, for example, add a glow to these bars to highlight them. We can basically edit these bars the same way we can edit shapes. And the text boxes in the chart can also be edited as we already learned it. So now you know how to create charts in Word, how to change the values inside a chart, and how to change the layout and the design of the whole chart or only a specific element of the chart. Watch the other videos to learn more about objects in Word.